Recently at Sony's State of Play, Square Enix dropped a 60-second, highly polished trailer showcasing gameplay and early reimagined story sequences of the long-awaited Final Fantasy VII Remake. In addition, we also saw a message from the game's director Tetsuya Nomura on Twitter regarding the promotional plan for the game, and also hinting that the game may come out sooner than has been speculated. The initial tweet was in Japanese, but a very rough English translation has been cycling around the internet with the sentence, quote, "Most of the plans are already in place in the run-up to launch, so please bear with us a little longer until we can release more information next month," end of quote. While it's clear Nomura is pointing attention to the promotional plans for the game, and not the specific release date, he does use the phrase, "up to launch," which implies that Square does have at least a speculative release date, including a promotional track with that date in mind. It also appears that the game is not in early development as previously thought by many, as it would be odd to speak of promotion up to launch, including an hour-long presentation at E3 in June of this year, where this game is confirmed to make an appearance, if the game was merely in early development still. These announcements are in stark contrast to a little over 2 years ago, when the current co-director Naoki Hamaguchi stated the game was mostly scratched and development has restarted on the game entirely, due to creative differences between Tetsuya Nomura and the prior development team at CyberConnect 2. Now, it's probably best to dampen release date expectations at this point in time until at least we see more at E3 this summer. Square is infamous for releasing game trailers years in advance, even for this very project, which was initially announced with a trailer way back in 2015. So it still is possible the Final Fantasy VII Remake is quite a ways out from appearing on store shelves. But as a 20-year fan of this franchise, seeing the sudden release of this trailer in combination with Nomura's tweet regarding promotional plans up to an official launch, as well as Square promising even more Final Fantasy VII Remake content at their hour-long E3 2019 presentation on June 10th, I feel comfortable saying that this game is closer to launch than from the time it began development for what that is worth. Release date aside, the pressure was on for Square Enix to re-engage a disheartened fanbase with the first reveal of the game since development restarted in early 2017. And personally, I think Square delivered. While the trailer was only about a minute long and it appears to entirely take place in Midgar, the first location in the original game, Square took no time showing us several of our favorite characters and action-packed sequences with full voice acting, including the most surprising reveal to me, Aerith and Sephiroth, whom I would have thought Square would want to hold a reveal until E3 later this summer. In general, I felt like the trailer had a very good balance between showing long-term fans, such as myself, very faithful scenes from the original game, such as with Aerith and giving the flower to Cloud, while also introducing what appears to be more reimagined scenes with the final confrontation with Sephiroth and Cloud at the end of the trailer. I think this was a very wise decision, as it shows fans that this game will still be the Final Fantasy VII they grew up with, while slowly introducing to them some of the smaller changes that are being made to flesh the game out for newer audiences. Even smaller details such as how absolutely filthy Midgar looks in this trailer, with random pieces of junk collecting along the road, really gives me a sense of what traversing such a depressing environment would be like on a modern console. In short, this was far more than I expected from Square at a first reveal since redevelopment, and I have to admit, I find myself much more optimistic regarding the future of this game. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, as we will be discussing this in detail on our weekly streamed RPG podcast this weekend, as well as other Final Fantasy VII Remake videos in the future. Thanks everyone for watching, and let's hope for the best for this game.